Okay, I got on this thing for my lunch, 30 minutes. I already got like 7,000 steps in today so far. I usually get about 3,000 when I'm on this thing at a half-hour lunch. And then I have another 15 minutes. I've been averaging about 15K steps the last couple of days because I've been getting about an hour on the glider in, 40 minutes, half hour on the glider in before work. But that's not why I'm here. The reason I'm here, let me cut this off. Let me cut my gliding music off. I'll do that for you. Okay. And I'm thinking, okay, I got on this thing, I'm like, blah, 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 blah. I'm kind of bored, so I just cut it on. Why am I I can't even call it obsessed. Am I obsessed with P-Funk? I just posted the dates that I saw P-Funk in 2022. This is like 10 or 11 of them, I guess. I've seen them, a few times. Saw him here, saw him in United Kingdom, over in England, New Orleans, New York, Vegas. What is it with me and this P-Funk? What is it? Is the music? I stand there and say, this music can't be beat. And there's no doubt when I hear the music, I am moved. I am literally moved, physically, spiritually, mentally. It feels like it changes my mindset and body chemistry instantly when I hear the music, which is why I don't listen to it hardly ever, unless I'm at a concert. Maybe that's why I go to the concert so much. Now if I'm at a club or something that come on, I lose my mind. If I'm in the car or something that come on, I lose my mind. But you won't see me just cutting it on. Ooh, let me put on Modi Booty Affair album. I put on some other stuff. But the music, I picked it. How can I say that? I chose to follow this music 45 years ago from hearing the sound of the keyboard and mothership connection. It was a modern sound. It was a sound like I never heard before. It sounded new and fresh, and it was just so attractive to me. It was something that just drew me to that sound. And then to hear it on the one, the way it was played, dun, 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 dun. And then to hear black people being cool over it, but fun and funky and just celebratory. And it was just like, well, all right. It wasn't about loving you or missing you or I need you or baby come back. What did Mothership Connection say? If you hear any noise, just me and the boys. Swing down, sweet chariot, come let me rise. About the mothership coming back. And Funky UFO was about, I guess, a UFO that was unfunky, or were we unfunky? How does I've been singing that song for 50 years, don't even know what it really means. Unfunky UFO, I'm from the sun. You got the groove and we want some. We're unfunky and obsolete and out of time. Unaware that they were near, it took me by surprise, crept up on me early morning right before my eyes, and they were singing. Stupid me, I wore a smile. My composure was secure. Silly grin from me into ear. A smile saw right through. Like a sugar light and ink came. They were on the road and getting it on, and the grooves just thought I was lying. So somebody had the groove and somebody didn't. And there was an unfunky UFO somewhere. And however, in my mind, I figure how it works all these years. Works for me. Obviously, somebody was unfunky and somebody wanted the funk from that unfunky. The unfunky wanted the funky. I guess the UFO was unfunky. So, did the UFO come down to a funky place, or? I mean, regardless, whatever. I listened to it. It wasn't about love or taking care of your brother or humanity. It wasn't about, it wasn't like Earth, Wind, and Fire-ish you know, the elements and all. When about love, it was generic. Probably it was platonic. And I said that before. Again, I should say that when somebody said funk is fun with a K, no, it's not. No, it is not. Funk is no. And he said funk is fun with a K, and I was like, okay. And he said, you want to know what the K? He said, you want to know what the K stands for? I was like, be careful. I swear I love this music. So this is my music. I don't care what anybody tell me. I don't care what anybody tell me. I done take ownership. That's what they say. When you take ownership, you get a project and you're like working on something and you're just doing what you're told. You're just following instructions. But it comes a point where you start to realize, hey, I know what's going on here. And I don't want to say it that way. You know, it's because whether I know what's going on here or not, I don't have jurisdiction. You know, technically, you know, I could be a subject matter expert, and I'm probably not even a subject matter expert in, like, you ask me about personnel, I can probably answer a few questions. You ask me what record is on what, you ask me who played on what, who is this, who is that, I ain't so much in there. I might know the lyrics to the songs. If I hear them, I can probably, sometimes I hear a song nowadays, and I know it's P-Funk, and I can't remember, and I know the words, and I can't remember the name or what album it's from. So there's definitely people out there, I probably put this a weird way, but there's definitely people out there who know more about the logistics and ins and outs of P-Funk than I do. And that's cool with me. But I will say this, and I will leave this out there to be challenged. When it comes to the live shows, when it comes to the live shows, has anybody seen this band more than me from a customer, guest, outside, quote unquote, outside the loop thing, not being part of the band, not touring with the band, not working there? Has anybody seen them flown around the world, seen them as much as I have? That's just a question. I'm not saying I have or I haven't. And I pose that question to kind of validate or to use as a foundation of how much subject matter expert I should be on the live shows. Like I said, who played on what, who did this, you know, who sang that, you know, what album is that on? I might remember a bunch of it. But what I do remember and do know is the live performances. I've been there for them for years. I've seen the band over 200 times. So as far as the live performances go, I can probably use the amount of times I've seen them as a measure of my credibility to what I'm saying about the live shows. I just said all that to say that. And I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, so why am I so, what is it about the music? When I heard that music, I heard it, dun, 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 dun. I remember it. I remember sitting at that table, getting the 8-track. It was nothing but a bootleg 8-track, blue label, black letters, no pictures, no nothing. Just said Parliament, Mothership Connection. And I think some of the songs were even spelled wrong. And I think from the third to the fourth track, one of the songs was split. No, I think that was another record that did that. I don't think Mothership did that on the 8-track. But anyway, I had that and I studied it and I studied it. So when did it become this thing? When did it become this thing? Okay, so I was on Mothership Connection in my neighborhood pretty much before, well, not before anybody, but I was like the only one for a long time. There might have been some Funkadelic cats there, but I didn't run around. They were probably older and into different things. So I was always the P-Funk guy. through mothership connection. People used to tease me, oh, you ain't gonna never get a girl, listen to that music, girls don't like that music, you know, over and over and over, whatever, P-Funk, you know, they clown. That's what kids do. But I stood by them. And then when they came out with Flashlight, and everybody jumped on. When they came out with Flashlight, everybody jumped on. But I had already been established there. So I was elevated. And people knew that I was the P-Funk guy on the south side of Youngstown. And at least in my group, at least on Dewey Street, in the surrounding areas, the people who hung out with us, Cleveland School and right up and down Hillman and all that. So I was there. I was there. You know, I studied it and I learned it, but when did it become this thing? When did it become this thing that I'm, you know, doing as much as have I dedicated my life to this music? Have I dedicated my life to hearing this music? I dedicated my life to myself, okay? I dedicated my life, Jeffrey dedicated his life to Jeffrey, and Jeffrey wants to hear Parliament Funkadelic music, to the point that where Jeffrey don't even go see nobody else but P-Funk. And what the hell is that about? It's sustaining. I'm cool. I'm cool. You know? I'm cool. And I have to thank the band and the organization that I chose 50 years ago to still be performing at a level at which they are. And that they're performing at the level at which they are and still touring after all these years, putting on so many dates to where I can go see them as much. Because a lot of these other groups ain't touring no more. And they are, and it's not really, they're just, you know, basically playing to a track. It's a nostalgia thing. And where P-Funk is innovating and growing, and well, growing might be a different word, but I'm just saying all that. I'm not saying that to critique the organization or to even determine what the organization is doing or not as an organization. I'm just saying that to where the choice I made to say, this is mine, this is mine, that this is what I'm gonna follow, this is what I like, this is what I'm into. And then to turn around and to have it last this long. To have it last this long. That's what I'm saying. I mean, is that luck, or did I know something when I heard that? Was there something in the music that I was hearing that I knew would last? Like when I got electronics, when I got that crystal radio, and the smell of it, the literal smell of the device was attractive to me. I can still remember that smell. And I was like, this is what I want to do forever. I can remember I got that was it. It was electronics. From that moment on, it was electronics. I was fascinated by it. And ever since then, I took it on to a career that has led me through electronics to computers, to making a good income to where I could live in Southern California. And then computers. No, I went from electronics, I learned electronics, and I learned wires, and I learned wiring, and I learned how to hook up car stereos. So I was into that music part, recording. I was into recording on 8-tracks and cassette tapes and doing stuff, you know, on a kiddie consumer level, nothing real. You know, just whatever I can get my hands on to record and do this and play back that and play it in the car. I learned how to do car systems. And then I got older. I was an electronic technician. I saw the electronic technician industry was dying, so I knew I needed to jump to computers. So I started learning computers, taught myself computers, went to school for computers. And then from there, I learned, so now I had computers under my belt and an electronic background. So when computers came in, and all of a sudden computers now, you could make music at home. So I wanted to be in music production. So I could do music production, professional quality music production at home, because I know computers. I might not know music, but I know computers. And then also with the computers, you get the internet. I had a platform to where I was able to have an audience. If I have an audience or not, it doesn't matter. I have a platform with a possible audience, and that's all I need to know. Because I uploaded about 15 of these videos to YouTube. And people, I mean, the views are like zero. A lot of them, people, never even watched any of them. But that's not the point. The point is to have it out there. The point is to have it out there so that when that that opportunity comes, I'm ready. I won't be ready. I'll have something in place. So that all comes from the internet and, my electronics. And then you had the P-Funk in there. And then all of a sudden the P-Funk, we had the internet and One Nation boardrooms. So with the computers, I was able to make one of the first public computer bulletin boards for P-Funk. P-Funk Online, I did that. And how it just evolved. All the different key aspects of my life came together. From electronics to Parliament, P-Funk, music, internet, home studios. It's like either I adapted to the opportunities and inventions that came up around me, or these things came up and fit a niche that was, pretty much all I can ask for. Pretty much. So now, why am I so obsessed with P-Funk? It's in the music, and I hear it. Sometimes I admit, sometimes I'm standing there, and I'm going like, oh. It's not like Christmas every time. Okay, yes, it might be. It just, at some point during every show, it's Christmas. And even if I'm tired and my feet hurt and I've seen them 4 times, 4 days before, there's always a moment to where I go, yeah, this is why. I can't think of one show where I was like, why did I even come here? Well, I can actually. I can think of one show that I was like, why am I here? But I don't think I ever left early. Anyhow, I'm gonna forget where I left off.